My first video outlined my background, qualifications, beliefs, and desire to make a difference by running for the presidency. Now it's time to get down to business and address the variety of issues facing our country. We have a budget deficit of $15 trillion and counting, an unemployment rate of 9%, and we're still spending about $50 billion each year on foreign aid. We have had a deficit budget for the past 40 plus years. When this happens to a business, they wind up going out of business. We need to force real and binding responsibility and accountability in balancing a budget on our elected officials. Our tax dollars bailed out our financial institutions with no strings attached, yet banks continue to be very reluctant to approve loans to qualified individuals, which would help jumpstart our economy. The glut of homes on the market continues to devalue existing home prices. Healthcare costs spiraling out of control, coupled with heavy investment losses over the past several years, have forced millions of Americans to alter their plans, postpone retirement, and prospectively deplete any anticipated inheritances for their children. I'm not an economist, a financial analyst, an expert on foreign policy, or even familiar with the ins and outs of our federal bureaucracy. I am not a role model. I am politically incorrect by design. I believe the principles upon which this country was founded, coupled with common sense, sound business decisions, a bias for action, and a real sense of urgency are the fundamental requirements for real change. In my opinion, our economy, and in fact the global economy, are the most pressing issues we face. As the US goes, so goes the world. While the government has the ability to create jobs using your money, our economy can only grow if the private sector flourishes. The government needs to offer tax incentives to American companies to produce American goods and provide American services employing Americans. We also need to increase global demand for American goods and services. Similar incentives must also be provided to entrepreneurs and smaller upstart businesses. We also need to ensure that imported goods meet our quality and safety standards, to ensure that American workers are competing on a level playing field. Further, we must also punish companies employing illegal immigrants, up to and including forcing them out of business. Illegal immigrants don't pay taxes, don't reinvest in this country, and occupy roles which Americans should fill. Made in America needs to reclaim the top step of the podium as the epitome of exceptional quality here and around the world. I don't care if you're white, black, green, yellow, pink, male or female, young or old. If you are receiving welfare benefits, we must make it more economically advantageous for you to work than to sit at home and collect a check. The federal government spends almost $700 billion of your money on welfare every year. Are you kidding me? Doesn't it make more sense for those able and capable to actually provide some type of service in return for a check? What folks might actually do is up for discussion, but the fact that they must do something is not. As Friedman suggests, our education system needs a complete overhaul if we're to compete with the best and brightest from rival countries. We need to attract, employ, and retain the best quality teachers and pay them accordingly. Paying them more means you'll have to pay more in taxes, but what price do you put on the value of an education? Parents need to refocus their children's attention on the importance of an education to their future. Our children can't be fair or average. They shouldn't get outstanding student bumper stickers for those showing effort, or worse yet, just showing up. They need to demonstrate excellence. This applies to extracurricular activities as well. You get the trophy for winning, not just competing. When did we forget that? When did we decide that everyone on the team needs to play? Only the best and most capable should get on the field, in sports and in life. Don't like it? Tough shit. Get used to it. We can't afford to finish second. The expectation of excellence begins with parents who won't settle for anything less. Coupled with this improved education, we need more innovation to ensure that we create goods and services which capture both our market and the global market. Great teachers can help students imagine and innovate. So can great parents. I have no interest in occupying Wall Street, but I'm willing to die to preserve their right to free speech. What I need to occupy is the White House. It is shaking out to be Romney versus Obama, in yet another Main Street versus Wall Street clash. We have seen this movie before, and the only losers are the American citizens. This country needs me, or someone like me, if it is to avoid another 4 years of paralysis. I am not a candidate. I am the anti-candidate. I represent everything a career politician is not. I won't spend $100 million to get elected to a job which pays $400,000. Anyone else find that disturbing, or is it just me? I won't accept campaign contributions, so the only special interests I have in mind are yours. I don't want nor expect to ever be re-elected, since this job is a very dirty job, and a lot of folks will be pissed that they were adversely affected by some very difficult decisions. And most importantly, those decisions will be sound business decisions, not political decisions, which are the only decisions that will move this country forward. Prepare to move forward with Ward.